hands up in prayer, like.
Yesterday, you're like, you good, bro? Oh yeah, we got a whole thing going on here. Sydney, are we good? Tell me when we're live, okay? We're live? Okay. All right. Bienvenidos, aloha, and welcome into TarTV. Alex Crawford, the big man, Howard Kroom with you here live from Ralph K. Reed Gymnasium. We're just minutes away from tip-off of this Sunset Conference non-league matchup between your Newport Harbor Sailors and the Huntington Beach Oilers. Sailors coming into today 1-2, looking to bounce back. They open up the season 1-0 against Old Toro. Now a 2-game losing streak for them as they entered Sunset Conference. Howard, this is our second game together for the Sailors here at home. What do you expect out of Newport Harbor tonight against this Oilers team?
Well, we know what we can expect out of number 11, the main guy for the Sailors, Darrow. He makes the offense go. He's averaging 20 points right now. We've seen a boxing one already on him this season, so I expect the Oilers to do everything they can to shut down his production. But then we got other guys like Pissarro, Luke Barnes, guys that get dirty and do a little bit of everything. So I'm expecting Newport Harbor to get scrappy and make it a tough game.
Your starting five for the Newport Harbor Sailors: Levi, Darrow, Luke Barnes, Gianni Pissarro, Tyler Lee, and Shea Elgin. Your starting five for Huntington Beach: Joey Gentilella, Alan Athey, Conley 2, Jason Ford, and Jackson Pizarro. The Huntington Beach Oilers come in at 4-5. They're 1-0 in Wagley. Newport Harbor 0-1 in Surf League. So always a little confusing with the Sunset Conference matchups.
Definitely a little confusing.
But what's important tonight is that the Sailors have a 2-game losing streak. They're looking to snap here against the Oilers at home. And I talked to head coach Toribio before the game from Newport Harbor. He said Huntington Beach plays fast. Drink a little water, get your mouth ready, because they're going to be running back and forth. You're going to be calling the names of their players, jacking up shots all night.
Well, the Sailors are ready for that. They run up and down. They play hard as well. A lot of guys with talent on the Sailors team. So I'm looking forward to an up-and-down game tonight.
A player to watch from Huntington Beach, Alan Athey, number 1, the point guard, number 5 in the state of California in assists per game. He averages just under 6. So keep an eye on him. Pissarro wins the tip, and Darrow brings it up for the Sailors in their home whites. That's Elgin at the top of the key. Over to Darrow. Drives in the paint. A cutting Luke Barnes. Nice move, the up and under. And the foul. Alan Athey commits the foul. Luke Barnes will go to the line, shooting 2.
And Luke Barnes, I expect a lot out of him. He's a physical player. He cuts. He does everything. Last time we saw him play, he filled up the stat sheet. I think he had a little bit of something in every column, so expect a lot out of him tonight.
Against Fountain Valley last week when we were here, Luke Barnes, 7 points, 3 assists. 7 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks, and a steal. So stuffing that stat sheet. He misses the first.
And took a bunch of charges that are not on the stat sheet, so he was really busy last week.
Barnes had a tough go of it against Edison on Friday. Only 3 points, 1 of 6 from the field for him in that game. So good to see him getting the ball, driving to the hoop early in this one. Second shot by Barnes, misses. Tough trip to the line for the Sailors. And that's Alan Athey, one of the best point guards in the state, starting things off for Huntington Beach. Jason Ford. Is that 3 in the key? Did they just call 3 in the key? It's a turnover regardless, Sailor basketball.
I don't know if that was 3 in the key or that was a foul. No, I don't know what that was.
So regardless, it's Sailors basketball. You're 5 on the floor for the Sailors, the starting 5. Tyler Lee, Levi Darrow, Shea Elgin, Luke Barnes, and Gianni Pissarro.
It was a foul on somebody. I don't know who.
Elgin sets a screen. Darrow rolls. Stopped his dribble. Hangs in the air. Misses. Grabs his own board. The team's leading rebounder fighting for it. It's a jump ball.
Darrow trying to make it happen by himself. They switched on the screen and didn't attack him hard enough, and he went right to the basket.
Possession arrow, Huntington Beach. The Oilers, pretty even point differential on the season. They scored just over 54. giving up just around 56. This is a team that likes to run. This is a team that likes to score points. Jason Ford has it, guarded by Pissarro. Barnes attacked, missed. Oh, the fake pass included an extra step. Joey Gentilella packed his bags, went for a walk, and that's a turnover.
And Luke Barnes gambled there, went for the steal, didn't get it, but Shea Elgin had his back on the great help defense.
Darrow brings it up for the Sailors. Double screen action. Crossover. Stop. Tough shot. Darrow can't find the hole. Pissarro fighting for it. Gentilella comes up with the rebound. Coast to coast. Baseline, Jay. Short. Barnes with the board. Luke Barnes attacking. Only 3 points last week. He gets 2 here.
And up and down, like you said, Alex, we expect a lot of running. Huntington Beach takes the ball out, and they press up court.
Allen Athey, a true point guard for them. 6 assists per game, only 3 points and 2 rebounds. So he does look to dish. That's Gentilella outside, guarded by Barnes.
Allen Athey on the other side playing some good defense as well.
Another baseline, Jay. This one's true. Jackson Pissarro ties the game at 2.
Let's see what kind of offense we get out of the Sailors if they run that double screen again for Darrow or if they switch it up.
Lee has it up top. Now Barnes drives, spin move off the glass, misses.
I like that take, though.
Here comes Athey. Looking to pass, as always. 3-point shot, Jason Ford misses. Rebound, Levi Darrow, the point guard, averages double-digit rebounds, leads the Sailors in points and boards. He attacks, kicks, Barnes. Elgin, now the Sailors will reset.
It's been a track meet so far.
Track meet with a few misses. We're still tied. Sailors want to break the stalemate here. Darrow attacks. Whacked in the face, no call. He can't believe it. Here come the Oilers.
Darrow's getting into the paint. He just hasn't been able to finish. Didn't get the call on that one.
Gentilella trapped. That's Athey. Running point for Huntington Beach.
Gentilella calling for it in the post. We saw him playing quarterback this year for the football team.
Tough shot by Gentilella, in and out. Luke Barnes fights for the rebound. Barnes, a two-sport athlete as well, currently splitting time between lacrosse and basketball. He'll bring it up for the Sailors. Guarded by Athey, mismatch. Mouse in the house, but the pocket is picked. Here comes Pissarro.
Athey's been great on defense tonight.
Athey triggers a deep 3. Darrow grabs the rebound. Levi Darrow on the season, 20 points, 10 boards. It's either a great sign or a bad sign that your point guard is your leading rebounder.
You're absolutely right. Elgin, a shooter.
Attacks. Misses. Rebound. Gentilella. And Howard, it's a real treat to watch a team. Head coach Tino Zaragoza, a team with a real point guard, a true pass-first point guard, is a treat in any level of hoops, but particularly Sunset Conference hoops.
Absolutely, and you see him surveying, trying to set up his guys right now.
Oh, great defense by Darrow. He's going to get called for the kickball as John Siegel set to check in for the Sailors. He's going to replace Darrow. So Darrow heads to the bench early. I assume he's got a couple fouls.
Yeah,
take a sip of water there.
Getting him a quick blow. He's been getting banged up, going to the basket, not getting a lot of calls. Get him a couple minutes early. I'm sure they'll get him back in pretty quick.
Give and go to Gentilella, trying to back down. Barnes, he walked.
And Luke Barnes just absolutely perfect defensive position, 2 possessions in a row.
So still tied at 2-2. Not the offensive showcase we were thinking. And that's Elgin with it, up top to Tyler Lee, attacks and he walks. So, Howard, kind of a theme that we've seen here is a lot of last game we saw a lot of charges called. This game we've got like 4 travels already.
Hey, refs would say it's not us. You guys got to clean it up out there. But they are letting them play through the contact. We've seen that so far.
Siegel will have his hands full guarding Athey. As Athey looks to penetrate, he does. He kicks it out to Pissarro. He's guarded by Tyler Lee. Outside, Gentilella stopped his dribble. Hangs in the air, short. Fighting for the rebound. Siegel corrals it. He'll push the pace for the Sailors. Newport Harbor, they've got numbers. Elgin, three-pointer, yes! Shea Elgin nails it.
I knew that was cash money when it left his hands, and so did everybody in the bleachers for Newport Harbor.
Athey brings it up, guarded by Siegel. 3-point lead for the Sailors, 3 minutes on the clock. Siegel harassing. HB's got to reset. That's Pizarro. Tough shot, misses, rebound, tip to Barnes. They try to feed it into Pizarro. It's tipped out of bounds, Sailors possession.
Luke Barnes playing that Draymond Green role. Big power forward, get the ball off the glass and bring it all the way up like he's a point guard.
And I've seen Luke Barnes talk mess a little bit. I don't want to, not like Draymond Green, but of all the guys that talk for Newport Harbor, Luke Barnes.
He's the guy, huh?
That's what I see out there. I've seen him take the charge and clap in a guy's face. Jake Reed in the game now for the Sailors. Levi Darrow returning, along with Shea Elgin, Luke Barnes, and John Siegel. Straightaway three from Elgin, 2 in a row. Count it.
You can't let him shoot. That's why I got excited earlier when I saw him go to the basket, because I'm so used to him just pulling up, letting it go.
That's 6 points in this quarter. Athey pull-up Jay, short. Rebound, Jake Reed. Jake Reed, major minutes off the bench for the Sailors on Friday against Edison as Siegel drives, hangs in the air. Time stands still for John Siegel. Sailors up 8.
Good, strong move by John Siegel. Make him respect the drive. That'll open up the three-pointer later on.
Off the bench for the Sailors, as Pizarro misses. Reed had 11 points and 2 blocks on Friday in a losing effort at Edison. Darrow out to Reed. Love the energy of Jake Reed. Also plays volleyball. But I was talking to freshman coach Ryan George this week. He said, stop calling him volleyball player Jake Reed. He loves to hoop. Oh, nice find, Reed to Darrow. And Barnes hits the deck. Fighting for it. They're going to call a travel on Barnes.
I don't like that call.
A lot of energy from Luke Barnes.
Luke Barnes was just fighting to get possession of it. By the time he grabbed possession, they called a travel. I thought that was a little bit too quick.
Final 96 seconds of the first quarter. Sailors are up by 8, 10-2 over the visiting team, Huntington Beach, the Oilers. You know I love their uniforms, Howard. We went to Oregon State. We love the orange and black. But I love the Sailors' home whites as well. That's Ford driving baseline. Darrow making life miserable. Screen from Doffner. Straightaway three, no. Read the board.
I was wondering how the Oilers felt about being Oregon State orange and black.
I've always liked the Oilers' gear. I hate to admit it. As Siegel drives, tough shot off the glass. And puts it in. John Siegel, my goodness.
Left hand on him.
10-point lead for the Sailors. Final minute of the quarter. 12-2 they lead over Huntington Beach. They get it down on the block to Downs. He puts it in. That'll stop the bleeding momentarily for Huntington.
Good, strong move by Downs. Way to use his body against the smaller defender.
Darrow attacking, driving in the paint. That's easy money for Levi Darrow. Pay that man.
He's been trying to get to the left-handed drive all night. Finally got to the rim.
10-point lead for the Sailors. And Miles Phantom brings it up for Huntington Beach. That's Pizarro, harassed by Elgin. Now back to Phantom. Gets around a screen from Doffner. Stopped his dribble at the free throw line. Sailors defense is swarming. Sailors defense is harassing. Phantom guarded by Barnes. Shot clock, game clock are sequential. Single digits, down to 4. Ball bounces out of bounds, and it's Sailors basketball with 3 on the clock here in the first quarter. What a defensive possession for your Newport Harbor Sailors.
Excellent defensive possession. Levi Darrow in there, star player on offense, also switching off on big men, being very physical as a point guard. You love to see it.
Elgin's going to get a deep heave. Oh, and the horn sounds. Elgin thought he had more time. A beautiful cut to the hoop. I wanted to see him shoot it from deep because he's such a deadly sharp shooter. 2 3-pointers in that quarter. And the Sailors up by 10, 14-4. Your score at the end of one. We'll come back with second quarter action here between the Oilers and the Sailors. You're watching Newport Harbor Boys basketball on TarTV. Welcome back into TarTV. Alex Crawford, Howard Kroom with you here live from Ralph K. Reed Gymnasium. Sailors lead by 10, 14-4 over the visiting Huntington Beach Oilers. Jake Reed has it in the corner for the Sailors. Back up top to Elgin. He hit 2 threes in the first. He spins. Tough shot in the paint. Count it. And the foul. Are you kidding me? They're going to say he walked.
He doesn't get a pivot foot? How is that possibly a travel?
Oh, man. Okay.
That looked like great footwork. Pulled up for the little mid paint shot. I don't understand how that's a travel.
14-4. Sailors still lead. And that is Conley 2 running point now for them. Guarded by Pissarro.
I think this is the first time we've seen 2, but he's got good numbers on paper so far this season.
Pocket picked. Elgin collapses. And a special treat tonight. So we got a few more fans and a small student section here. See a couple students. I see James Kroll from the football team. I see one of the Lathy bros from the water polo team sitting courtside. Normally you got to pay extra for those tickets, but they're stoked to get in here.
Well, the student section is making this Oilers offense feel their presence. I can hear them heckling right now.
So after Elgin hits the deck, it's Huntington Beach basketball. Miles Phantom running point, hounded by Darrow. 10-point lead for the Sailors. And you heard head coach Tino Zaragoza during the timeout berating his team for selfish individual play. Let's see if they play as a more cohesive unit here in the second quarter. Outside three-point shot, Kenrick short. Phantom trying to save it in the corner. They're going to say possession Huntington Beach. Oh no, the ref changed his call.
Well, Coach Zaragoza for the Oilers made a full sail change. I think we have a whole new 5 in here from the starters, just trying to see if he can get anything going.
It's Kong Lee 2, James Downs, Cole Kenrick, Miles Phantom, and Roman DiMaggio, your 5 on the floor for Huntington Beach. As I familiarize myself with this HB Oilers roster, Lee mauls Darrow. No call, crossover in the lane. And they're going to call a charge. They're going to say Levi Darrow was out of control. But I saw Levi Darrow put Conley 2 on skates.
That was a highlight play right there from Levi Darrow. And the referee, I don't know if he was happy. He's looking up at me because he saw me do the and one. I'm sorry. That was an amazing move. And I've been saying it. Darrow has been getting beat up. He can't get a call.
You know, usually,
I don't get it.
Howard, I walk down to the officials before the game, introduce myself, tell them about the live stream, get their names in. I didn't have time to do that today. And, of course, that's the day we get the dead-eye stare from the officiating crew.
Well, I hope Levi Darrow still takes that play and puts it on his highlight tape because that was picture perfect.
Brandon Kincaid checks into the game right now, and he checks Conley, too. Kincaid had a beautiful sequence in the third quarter against Edison, hitting a 3, taking a charge, and a beautiful assist to Elgin. As Pissarro affects that shot, Jake Reed fights for the rebound. Put back is good by Cole Kenrick.
It's getting physical in the post on Huntington Beach's side.
Darrow attack, mauled again, hangs in the air. It bounces out and ricochets into the hands of Cole Kenrick. Here come the Huntington Beach Oilers. Roman DiMaggio with the mullet, airballs it. Rebound, Jake Reed. The frenetic pace increases as Darrow has it baseline.
Darrow's got to feel like there's no way I'm not going to get a call, so I'm going to just keep driving. Eventually, they got to blow a whistle.
I might be sore tomorrow, but I'm going to get a call at some point in this game. Darrow drives again. Euro step this time. He does get the call. Darrow has been attacking, knifing through the defense, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2. His team up by 8 here midway through the second period.
Well, Huntington Beach has done a good job coming out in the second quarter, making it tough, mucking up the game. And it sounds like that halftime speech from Coach Zaragoza put a little spark in his second-team defense.
First shot by Darrow short. Sailors not having too much fun at the free throw line tonight. Missing all 3, and another wholesale change like a hockey shift from the Oilers. And it looks like it's the original starting 5 back out there. A couple different substitutions. And timeout, so we'll keep it right here. Timeout on the floor. Great start for the Sailors. 14-6, they lead. 5:26 to go here in this quarter, trying to snap a 2-game losing streak. They opened up the season with a 1-point win down in South County at El Toro last Monday. They hosted Fountain Valley last Wednesday. We saw that one tough 6-point loss to one of the best teams in the county on the road to the defending co-Surf League champs Edison on Friday. Another close loss. It was a 10-point loss, but it was a Sailors lead late in the third quarter heading into the fourth. So a hard-fought game in that one. And the Sailors looking to bounce back in a big way here. They're up by 8, but this game is far from over.
Far from over, and the Oilers have made it tough by playing some strong defense in the second quarter. They scored a bucket. Now it's only an 8-point game. So if you're the Sailors, you got to find a way to get your offense going, run your stuff, and pile on some points because Huntington Beach doesn't want to go away anytime soon.
5 on the floor for the Sailors are the starting 5, Darrow, Barnes, Passero, Lee, and Elgin, as Darrow will look to complete the second of 2 free throws. We welcome everybody joining us on TarTV, both from the Newport, and I think we have some Huntington Beach viewers as well. We appreciate you guys. We are happy to bring you this Sunset League game. Darrow nails the second. Sailors 1 of 4 from the free throw line tonight. And Athey checks back in for Huntington Beach, replacing Cole Kenrick. 5 on the floor for the Oilers. Athey, Phantom, Gentilella, 2, and Foster.
And now we're seeing a new defensive look, a full court press out of the Sailors.
2, barely gets it across the timeline. May have carried, it's poked away. And possession, Huntington Beach, but wholesale defensive change there. Pressuring Huntington Beach. 2 was lucky to get that across the timeline.
Yeah, made it difficult. The Sailors' defense did.
2 has it in the corner, guarded by Elgin. Back over to Athey, one of the best assist mans in the state. Gets it down to Gentilella on the block. Has his pocket picked by Lee. Now Lee's tied up. They're going to call a jump ball. It should be possession Sailors. It is. Tyler Lee, like a thief in the night, came in to pick Joey Gentilella's pocket, one of the quarterbacks for the Huntington Beach Oilers football team.
And he's long out there on the block for the basketball team. He's got good athleticism, too. Giving Luke Barnes some trouble, but Luke Barnes doing a great job on him.
So it was possession, Huntington Beach. Athey to inbound, gets it into 2. Single digits on the shot clock. It's down to 5. 2 in the paint. Stopped his dribble. Barnes harasses. Tough shot by Conley, 2. And Elgin grabs the air ball out of the sky like a wide receiver. Here comes Elgin. He hit 2 in the first quarter. Yes! Shea Elgin's unconscious from deep.
And it doesn't even hit the rim when he throws it up. It just leaves his hand straight through the net. That thing is beautiful.
Nothing but nylon for Shea Elgin. Sailors up 12, 18-6, 4:30 to go here in the second. You knew that Shea Elgin's stroke would come alive at some point, and it has tonight. Miles Phantom misses that. Offensive board tipped around in the hands of Shea Elgin. Will we see a heat check? No. Outside, Tyler Lee thought about the 3. Darrow on the block. The power move, and it rolls it. Levi Darrow. Another 2 points for the Sailors' leading scorer.
Like you predicted early on, Alex, it's been running up and down for both teams, but the Sailors are the only ones converting right now.
A deep 3 from Conley, too. Almost hit the ceiling. Raindrops. Darrow has it up top, guarded by Phantom. Hesitation. Levi Darrow so patient. They're going to call a charge. Darrow can't believe it. Sailors can't believe it. I mean, Levi Darrow can't get a call tonight, Howard.
What do you do? The guy gets to the basket at will, and you call a charge when he makes it. If he doesn't get to the basket, he's getting hacked, and he doesn't get a call. I don't know what he's supposed to do.
Man, Levi Darrow's going to need an ice bath after this game tonight. He's taking a beating, and he doesn't have the trips to the free throw line to show for it.
Yeah, he's frustrated, but he's a great player. He's been on varsity for a long time, and I bet he'll find a way to put up 15 points in the second half somehow.
He's got 20 and 10 as his averages for the season. They get it on the block to Gentilella. Back up top to 2. Now Phantom. Gentilella guarded by Barnes. Up and under. The stroke is true for the Oilers quarterback. Cuts the lead to 9. 20-11 Sailors lead. Tyler Lee. Siegel. Barnes has it guarded by Phantom. Drives, spins, hangs in the paint. Can't get it to go. Rebound Karams to 2. Here he comes.
2 is a talented dribbler.
Phantom nails that one. Huntington Beach slicing into the lead. It's 20-14. Sailors are up, final 3 minutes of the quarter. Jake Reed down low. Pocket is picked by Athey. Comes up with it. Shea Elgin will go to the line, shooting 2. I have loved the attack mode from Shea Elgin tonight.
Well-rounded game by Shea Elgin. He's going to the basket. He's stroking from deep every time they give him an inch of space. Very well-rounded game. And we've been seeing a good matchup by the forwards in the post. Gentilla and Luke Barnes. Really, really good offense versus defense matchup down there when the Oilers are on offense.
21-14 now the score. Elgin, too strong on the second. 2:40 to go in the second quarter. Here comes Alan Athey. Gentilella back up top to Phantom. Conley too, hesitation. Gentilella attacking Shea Elgin. And John Siegel having a block party down low. That's a jump ball. Siegel had his hand on the top of the basketball for like 3 seconds.
Well, I was just about to say, I like that guy. Then I was going to say, I like that guy. Speaking of Conley, too, and Joey Gentilla, just a really good two-man game right there, and I like to watch Conley, too, run the offense.
So after the jump ball, possession, Newport Harbor, 5 on the floor for the Sailors. Barnes, Pissarro, Kincaid, Reed, and Elgin. It's Reed with it, and they work it around to Kincaid. Perimeter work for the Sailors. Athey hounding the sophomore, Jake Reed. Nice find to Elgin. Hangs in the air, and he'll go to the line shooting 2 again. The patience of Shea Elgin paying off tonight. And he'll have another trip to the charity stripe looking to build this lead before we go into halftime. 1:59 on the clock here before the turn.
Yeah, every time we think the Sailors are pulling away, the Oilers, they go on a 4-0 run. They hit a big 3. They've hung around. They're keeping themselves in the game. If you're the Sailors, you got to find a way to keep piling on.
Elgin sinks the first. Brandon Kincaid and Luke Barnes stand at half court as Elgin nails a pair. Final 2 minutes of the quarter. And Conley, too, is running point for Huntington Beach. Now it's Alan Athey. Dangerous bounce pass. Gentilella, Athey trying to get it back to Gentilella. It's poked away. Kincaid poked it. Pissarro ahead to Elgin. And we've yet to see a heat check 3 from Elgin. He hasn't missed tonight. 3 for 3 from long range. Final 90 seconds of the second quarter. 20 on the shot clock.
Got to give it to Luke Barnes. It's a mismatch.
Mouse in the house. Barnes is fouled. He was posting up Conley, too. Athey got him on the wrist. Good call there, Howard. Barnes had the smaller Conley, too.
And he saw it right away. He gave the ball to the wing and dove to the post and put his hand up. That's exactly what he's supposed to do when he has the point guard on him.
Luke Barnes, 6'3", Conley, 5'9". So they got it to Barnes, and he'll go to the charity stripe. Sinking the first. He missed his first 2 to start this game. And now he's got the Sailors back up double digits. 1 minute and 17 seconds to go until halftime.
One thing we never see in the NBA are free throw violations. Even when they happen, the refs don't call them. I've seen a couple out here in 2 games in high school.
So the lane violation negates the free throw. And Alan Athey brings it up for the Oilers. Final 10 minutes. Final minute. 10-point lead for the Sailors. Sailors defense harassing, collapsing, and they'll be whistled for a foul.
It looks like that was my guy, Gianni Pissarro. We haven't called his name a ton tonight, but it doesn't surprise me he's getting in the mix because he's a physical guy when he plays. And it looks like he's got the assignment of Gentilella.
Joey Gentilella, senior, 6'4" forward. Pissarro listed at 6'3".
It's a generous 6'3", but he's got the heart of a lion. I know that.
That's Athey in the corner, guarded by Jake Reed. Reed, another two-sport athlete, splitting time between volleyball and hoops as the seasons overlap. Gentilella, tough three-pointer, won't go. Rebound Karams to Luke Barnes. Final minute of the quarter, 45 seconds to go until halftime. Luke Barnes brings it up. Jake Reed trying to get it to Elgin. They got Reed up top, Kincaid over on the far side. Oh, Gentilella gambled. Passero, Euro stepping good. Gianni Passero.
We've seen the Oilers play 10 guys significant minutes tonight.
Reed guarding. Barnes tying him up. Finally a whistle, and they're going to call 3 in the key on James Downs. It was something. If it wasn't a jump ball or a steal or a block or a travel, it was something. And it's 3 in the key, so a turnover. And the Sailors will have the final possession of the first half, leading by 12, 14 seconds on the game clock here.
And Darrow checked in for this last possession. Let's see if we can keep him away from getting an offensive foul. That's all we got to do.
5 seconds on the game clock. Darrow, dangerous. Wants to shoot. Deep three-pointer. Levi Darrow. Step back and hit that one from Irvine Avenue. Are you kidding me? Darrow, harassed, mauled, hacked all night. Step back and drain the three. Sailors up 15 heading into the break. Howard, how about that start for Newport Harbor?
Great start for Newport Harbor. You want to go off on a big shot, feeling the momentum. Levi Darrow pumping up, pumping his chest, feeling good about that make. This is how you want to go into the half, feeling dominant.
29-14, Sailors lead. 10 minutes on the clock as we head into halftime. We'll come back a couple minutes before the third quarter for some halftime stats and analysis for you. Sailors off to a great start. Darrow ends the quarter with a beautiful shot. And we head to halftime, a 15-point lead for the home team. You are watching Newport Harbor boys basketball on TarTV. Go Sailors! Welcome back into TarTV. Alex Crawford, the big man, Howard Kroom with you here. Just at the end of halftime, Sailors leading by 15, 29-14 over the Huntington Beach Oilers. Howard, a lot to love from the Sailors in that first half. What stood out to you from Newport Harbor?
Well, the Sailors, they played great defense. They kind of got everything that they wanted, except for they didn't always finish at the rim. We saw some foul calls that you and I didn't always agree with, but the Sailors continued to play hard, and they just got to keep the defense up in the second half and make sure Huntington Beach can't creep their way back in.
Shea Elgin, a trio of three-pointers, 12 points in that opening half. Can't wait to see what he can do with the ball in his hands. And Levi Darrow, just 8 points for him, averaging 20 on the season. Look for him to come alive here in the second half. It's Darrow bringing it up for the Sailors. Attacking once again. Oh, and he has his shot blocked. Swatted. Here comes Conley, too. That was Jason Ford. He's got to be feeling good. Swatting the reigning Surf League co-MVP, Levi Darrow. 2, guarded by Elgin.
Did 2 start in the first half?
No, he didn't.
Yeah, so a little bit of a change up.
He gets around a screen from Gentilella, and he's trying to feed it to Gentilella. That's Athey, guarded by Darrow. 5 on the shot clock. Elgin, great defense. And Gentilella banks it home. Here comes Darrow. Full steam ahead for the Sailor ship.
But the Oilers did start out with Jason Ford guarding Darrow in the first half. So
outside Lee triggers a three-pointer. Misses short. Gentilella grabs the board. Conley, too. He wants to take a shot. Oh, and he puts it in. Conley, too, feeling himself.
I like Conley, too. He does a little bit of everything.
Spark plug off the bench for the Huntington Beach Oilers. I didn't see him start, but I had him listed in my notes as a starter. So whatever it is, he's a starter quality, and I remember him putting up some points last year when these two teams played.
Sailors having some trouble getting what they want against this man-to-man defense.
Darrow attacks, goes up high off the glass. The hoop and the harm for Levi Darrow, getting the calls that he maybe didn't get in the first quarter. That's Jason Ford committing the foul for the Oilers.
Well, Darrow's tough because he can shoot it from long range, but he also loves to play downhill. Just continues to he can get to the right hand, get to the left hand, but he's tough going to the basket.
Levi Darrow gets 3 the hard way, and he's got 11 points on the evening. 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. They get it back to Gentilella. Passero guarding him. Oh, Passero throwing the body into him, and they're gonna call Passero for the contact.
I like Gentilella on offense. He's physical. He plays like kind of an old school back to the basket post, and when he gets one-on-one defense in the post, he's going to take it every time.
That's Athey to inbound, gets it on the baseline to Gentilella. Conley, 2, hesitation, pull-up J, too strong. Darrow, the board.
And coach brought Luke Barnes off the bench specifically to stick Gentilella.
Darrow drives, and he's going to get bumped by Ford. Ford shaking his head. And that's a non-shooting foul, so Luke Barnes will inbound. Barnes, Darrow, Elgin, Reed, and Passero on the floor for the Sailors. Undersized Sailor squad. Your big man, Gianni Passero at 6'3", Jake Reed listed at a generous 6'4".
Jake Reed wanted that lob. Darrow just missed him on the inbounds play.
That's Jake Reed with it. Has it left side, guarded by Pizarro. Outside, Passero, hesitation in the paint, kicks it to Elgin, saves it. Sailors reset with Darrow, the crossover, drives, baseline, feed, Passero up hard, count it, and the foul. The heart of a Lion, as you said, Howard. Johnny Passero earned every single one of those points. He's going to try to finish off 3 points the old-fashioned way.
Oilers coach Tino Zaragoza is not happy with his team right now. They just had it within 10 points and give up 2 and 1s back-to-back. That's frustrating.
Well, we talk about one of the fun things as Passero finishes off the three-point play. One of the fun things, one of the few fun things about the COVID era, the limited numbers at the gym or at the football stadium. allow for maximum hearing of coaches yelling opportunities. Pissarro comes up with it. He's bumped. That's a hard foul. Some pushing, some shoving, some extracurriculars. Benches standing up. Student section standing up.
Pissarro jumping up too. He ain't taking no stuff.
A little physicality.
Pissarro's a tough guy. We already knew that.
Well, when you're the 6'3" big man, you got to be a tough guy.
Got to be a tough guy.
5:13 to go here in the third quarter, and a technical foul is called. Pissarro shoots the first, sinks that one.
Pissarro, he's just a solid guy. Does everything for his team. Gets physical. Reliable at the free throw line, even though he misses the second one.
Break to the second. Some loud claps from the Huntington Beach bench. But what I was saying was, in the first half, in that in-between first and second quarter break, we could really hear Coach Tina Zaragoza laying into his team. You can hear every word, and it's really a treat. Honestly, it's a treat to be able to hear the coaches yelling, arguing with the officials telling coaches to shut up. It's fun.
Oh, yeah. Coach Zaragoza was not happy in the first half. He sat down now that Newport Harbor's gone on this little mini run. Kind of shaking his head right now, not happy at his team's defense.
Jason Ford bumps Darrow, and Reed will inbound it. 5:05 remaining in the third quarter. Darrow runs point for the Sailors. Reigning Surf League co-MVP, averaging 20 and 10 on the season. Levi Darrow, Pissarro up top. Back to Darrow.
Newport Harbor, they've had a little bit of trouble with this man-to-man defense.
Elgin drives, puts it in.
Elgin continues to go to the rack even though he's a sharpshooter.
Here comes Conley, too. Back up top to Athey. Two, triggers a three, in and out. Athey crashes the boards. Elgin comes away with it. Huntington Beach harassing, and he sneaks it to Luke Barnes. Here comes the lacrosse player. Outside, Darrow, open three, hesitation, drive, lost the ball. They're going to say he walked somewhere along the baseline. He walked.
Darrow's Euro step is crazy. That dude's footwork is so nice going to the basket. You could tell he watches a lot of basketball.
I hope at some point postseason I can hoop with Levi Darrow just so he can put me on skates, because I know that Euro step's coming, and me as an old man, a non-athletic play-by-play announcer, Darrow's going to put me on my butt.
Oh, yeah. And I'm surprised that 2 isn't shooting the ball more for the Oilers. He's a drop-dead shooter, can get to the basket. You got to get him a little bit more involved.
Darrow checks Athey. And now big man Gentilella has it outside on the wing. Back to Athey. Number 5 in the state of California in assists per game, Alan Athey. 6 on the shot clock. Gentilella down low, tries to go over Jake Reed and puts it home.
He's been a problem in the second and third quarter for the Sailors in the post. Gentilella just getting everything he wants when it's one-on-one down there.
3:35 left in the third. Elgin has the ball for the Sailors. Spins at the elbow outside Pissarro. He's going to drive and go airborne. They're going to call him for a charge. And for a second there, I had visions of Johnny Pissarro coming up and Blake Griffining someone.
Well, he was coming with a full head of steam to the basket. It was either going to be a foul on him or a foul on the defense, but there was going to be a collision no matter what.
After the offensive foul from Pissarro, Luke Barnes replaces him. 5 on the floor for the Sailors. Elgin, Barnes, Siegel, Darrow, and the sophomore Jake Reed. That's Ford with it up top, now to 2.
The Oilers trying to get the ball to Gentilella. Luke Barnes doing a good job denying.
Gentilella sets a screen, watch for the pick and roll. He's trying to back down Siegel. Siegel, hands in the air, Gentilella, outside to Ford. Ford, pull up J, too strong. A collision, and Siegel comes up with the board. He wants to run. Jake Reed, open 3, right-handed shot, in and out. And it's tipped out of bounds, Huntington Beach basketball. Jake Reed, against Edison last Friday, came off the bench, nailed a couple of 3-pointers.
On that last possession, I was going to tell you, Coach Zaragoza was furious that Gentile didn't go up. Gentile surveyed the court. He beat the double team, and he passed the ball. Coach wanted him to go up. That's his guy.
Well, Coach just stepped out on the floor and said some things to Gentilella I can't repeat on this broadcast. Elgin picks the pocket. Ford comes back up with it. Now Gentilella has it up top. Kong Lee, too. He'll shoot from anywhere. That's Downs with it. Bounce pass, Gentilella on the block. Single digits on the shot clock. He feeds Ford up with a right hand and good. Beautiful ball movement from the Oilers. 2 minutes left in the third quarter.
Beautiful pass by the big man, by the quarterback, looking like Nikola Jokic in the post.
That Siegel thought about penetrating. No, backs it out. And gets it over to Darrow. The point guard holds it. 15 on the shot clock for Newport Harbor. Darrow attacking. Backing down, spinning, trying to draw contact. No whistle, goes up short. And the black shirts collapse to the ball.
You said Darrow averages 10 rebounds, and it's because he lives down there amongst the trees. He's not afraid to play big.
Elgin with the tip and the near save.
The behind-the-back
Oh,
save.
my goodness. That was almost.
That one might have been Sports Center top 10.
That was almost a beautiful piece of artwork here at Yardley Court. Checking into the game for the first time for the Sailors, Oliver Pick, number 32. Started getting some minutes in game number 3 against Edison on Friday. These are his first minutes here with 1:20 to go in the third quarter. 2. Bounce pass, down on the block. Pick goes up strong, but can't stop James Downs.
I love James Downs post game. The big man using his body, backing down, putting his butt on you, keeping the defense off.
Pick has it left side. Final minute of the quarter. Elgin at the free throw line. Bounce pass, trying to get it to Pick. It's out of bounds. Last touch by Gentilella. As Toribio barks at the officiating crew. Siegel will get ready to inbound for the Sailors. Siegel, Pick, Barnes, Elgin, and Darrow. The 5 Sailors on the floor in their home whites with the Navy numbers.
These are good minutes for Oliver Pick. These are not cleanup minutes. This is a close game.
Catch and shoot, miss. Barnes is there, out to Elgin. He's hit 3 in this game, and that's his first miss. A scrum for the basketball. I thought it was football the way they were diving for it. Elgin, deep 3.
The student section is ready to explode the next time the Sailors hit a 3.
That's Jason Ford. Now Conley, too, with it. Timeout. Coach Zaragoza, 30-second timeout with exactly 30 seconds on the clock here in the third quarter. Shea Elgin just missed his first 2 3-pointers of the game. And as you said, Howard, it's a small but mighty tar pit here at Ralph K. Reed Gymnasium. COVID attendance restricted. But a few students out here, a few seniors out here tonight. If Elgin, a fellow senior, had hit one of those 2, the small but mighty tar pit would have become roaring.
If he would have hit the second one off the bounce out of the scrum from deep, oh my gosh, we might have had to put a delay on this game because they would have, people out of the stands would have hit the court for sure.
Well, I called the basketball football because the way the guys were, it looked like a loose ball drill the way the guys were.
Everybody trying to scoop and score.
Yeah, everyone was trying to scoop and score, diving into each other's knees. Luke Barnes splitting time right now between lacrosse and basketball. And Jake Reed splitting time between volleyball and basketball. These seasons don't normally overlap like this.
And Coach Zaragoza, he is giving real instructions in this Oilers huddle. He knows the game isn't quite over, and if his team's going to make one more push to win the game, it's going to be at the end of the third and start of the fourth quarter, only a 13-point game. That's still manageable.
Well, they've got the playmakers to do it. Allen Athey, just under 6 assists per game, number 5 in the state. And Conley, too, averages 13 points a game. Joey Gentinella averages 11 and 5 boards on over 50% field goal percentage. The big man can eat. He's been eating tonight. 20 seconds on the clock after the timeout.
And with those 2 ball handlers, the Oilers still have number 10, Miles P., handling the ball. So they got a lot of guys on offense.
They call him the Phantom. He bounce passes it to Gentinella. The big man goes up and under and puts it home over Siegel. 3 on the clock. Siegel, half-court heave is up. Too high And we're headed to the fourth, an 11-point game. Sailors leading, but Huntington Beach fighting back, trying to claw back in this one. Head coach Tino Zaragoza's squad has no quit. We'll have the fourth quarter for you when we return. 38-27. Score favors your Newport Harbor Sailors. You're watching Newport Harbor Boys basketball on TarTV. Welcome back into TarTV. Alex Crawford, the big man, Howard Kroom with you here live from Ralph K. Reed Gymnasium, named after the very first teacher in Newport Harbor High School history, the first athletic director, Ralph King Reed. And he'd be proud of the way the Sailors are playing tonight, an 11-point lead over the Huntington Beach Oilers. Deep three from 2. Short turnover. But as we were talking about during the break, Howard, they hit one shot like that. It's a single-digit lead, and the Oilers have momentum.
That's why Coach drew that play up, because he knows his team just hit a 2. If they hit another 3, it's only an 8-point game, so that was an intentional deep ball.
Fourth quarter, Sailors looking for a win. Darrow, step back, misses. Ford the rebound, and 2 will bring it up.
The Sailors have gone cold from deep.
That's Miles Phantom. And Barnes is going to be whistled for a foul, guarding the big man, Joey Gentilella.
Well, he's in there to be physical. Don't want to give fouls, though.
Brandon Kincaid checks back in for the Sailors, replacing Jake Reed.
Coach
Kincaid will check Conley, too.
Coach Toribio going with a lot of different Sailors tonight.
We saw Oliver Pick get his first minutes. Che Elgin will guard Miles Phantom. Now Gentilella and Ford. They double team Ford. Gentilella, mouse in the house, trying to back down Kincaid. Hangs in the air. Shot is short, grabs his own board. Kincaid got a hand on the ball, but a hand on the wrist. And I know Kincaid was whistled for the foul there, but I've loved the juniors' minutes off the bench this season. As I told you earlier, Howard came off the bench in the third quarter against Edison and was responsible for a 7-point swing. So Gentilella will go to the line shooting 2 with 6:58 to go here in the fourth quarter.
Looked like the ref walked up and said something to Gentilella. I couldn't tell what he would have been saying. And I'm such a Sailors homer. I always want the Sailors to win, but when I see Gentilella going to the basket, I just love the way he plays so much. I want him to make everything.
Well, you and Gentilella are two birds of a feather, two football, basketball, dual sport athletes at the high school level.
Play old school, back to the basket, post, big man style. Love to see it. And now we're seeing a first press of the night from Huntington Beach.
Well, it's a single-digit lead for the Sailors. Kincaid breaks the press, and Darrow resets for Newport Harbor. Just under 7 minutes to go in this game. As we said, heading into the fourth, head coach Tino Zaragoza's squad has no quit.
And we're seeing a first zone of the night as well.
Barnes, can he break the zone? Hangs in the paint, stopped his dribble. Bounce pass out to Elgin. Missed that one. Oh, what a rebound by Levi Darrow. Up with it, count it. The foul, the tenacity of Levi Darrow strikes back. Stopped his dribble. Bounce pass out to Elgin. Missed that one. Oh, what a rebound by Levi Darrow. Up with it. Count it. The foul.
The 3 that didn't drop. But the one weakness of the zone is sometimes it's hard to get a defensive rebound. And the point guard got in there and made a heck of a play for the Sailors.
Well, something that's hurt the Sailors in their 2 losses this season and even in their win is the lack of a true big man. And you've seen the Sailors get beat against Edison and Fountain Valley by teams getting offensive boards and putbacks. In fact, Joey Gentilella has done that to the Sailors several times tonight. So Darrow giving the opponents a bit of the taste of their own medicine that's hurt the Sailors so much this season.
And we all know an offensive rebound, a putback, that just kills your comeback when you work so hard to get a defensive stop.
So Darrow trying to finish off the three-point play. He does. And Conley, too, will dribble it across the timeline for the Oilers with 6:15 to go in this game.
Oilers got to get rolling now. Starting to run out of time.
Phantom, bounce pass on the block to Downs in the corner. Miles Phantom, tough three. Passero, beautiful box out. And Luke Barnes will run point for the Tars.
Coach Toribio saying, let's run our stuff, run the motion. Let's get a full possession out of this. Let's not just jack up a three.
Darrow guarded by Phantom, left side attacks. Darrow spins, good find, Luke Barnes. Now Elgin dribbles it back out. 10 on the shot clock. Kincaid with it. Passero cutting, stopping, popping off the glass, and he misses at the last second. Gentinello the board. Here comes Conley too. Pull up Jade. Oh, in and out. Oh my goodness, Brandon Kincaid. Looking like he's running through tackling dummies there.
He was parallel to the ground when he went out of my vision, absolutely diving for the basketball.
Have you seen, the famous photo of Dennis Rodman diving for the loose ball completely parallel to the ground?
Yep.
I don't know if the photographer here caught that, but we could have had that from Brandon Kincaid. Shoot, I would have had that framed above my fireplace. That's how much a fan I am of that hustle from Kincaid. That's Ford with it, guarded by Elgin.
Great play by Passero for getting his foot there, because the Oilers are working really hard to get the ball to Gentile. They set a screen for him, and the Sailors got confused. He was wide open in the post.
Yeah, that was Passero with the kick ball.
Heads up play.
And it's Ford to inbound. He gets it into Athey. Left side, Conley, 2. Trying to bounce it into Gentilella. Outside, Athey. Thought about a 3. No.
I'm sorry, 2 is too good offensively to not shoot more.
That's a three-point shot from Downs. Passero, a tough board. He's trying to go coast to coast. He's checked by 2 on the baseline. He'll reset with Luke Barnes. 4:45 left in this game. And the Sailors working their stuff. Elgin started the game with 3 three-point makes. Has missed his last 3 from deep.
Sailors have gone cold as a team from deep.
That's Passero. Now Darrow. Single digits on the shot clock. 5 to shoot. They get it down to Passero. And they're going to call 3 in the key on Gianni Passero, a turnover. A little bit of life being breathed back into this team. Still a lot of time left in this game. 4:23 to go.
Assistant coach on the bench for the Oilers telling 2, get the ball, pump fake, and go to the rack. I don't think they can stop you. And we're seeing the Sailors in a full court press right now.
That's Gentilella attacking, stopped his dribble, outside 2, pump fake 3. Oh, off the back of the iron. It's tipped out to nobody. It's tipped out to the Oilers bench by James Downs, and a turnover. But I think Howard, that's the exact play that you just talked about.
Yep, that's what you want to see. You're not going to make every shot, but you want your playmakers to shoot it. But the Oilers, the Sailors did a good job by switching it up. They didn't stay in the man defense. They just wanted to make it uncomfortable for the Oilers as they try to make a comeback.
That's Kincaid with it up top. Now right side to Elgin. Luke Barnes hands it off to Passero. He drives in the paint, had his pocket picked by Gentilella. He's trying to get it to 2. Feeds it to Athey. Here comes Huntington Beach. Ford driving, baseline, up and under, and it's tipped out. I think Passero affected that shot, and they hack Levi Darrow after the play.
Gentilella's like, are you serious, ref? You're going to call that one? I barely touched them. They've been killing me all night.
So it's a 1-and-1 for Levi Darrow here.
Both teams continuing to play hard. Even though it's been double-digit lead for the Sailors, we have never entered blowout minutes. It's been a neck-and-neck game, it's felt like, the entire afternoon.
3:35 left in this game. And the team's leading scorer, one of the best offensive players in the county, Levi Darrow, sinks the first of the 1-and-1. Darrow opened up the season, 22 points, 12 boards against El Toro. And on Friday against Edison, he had 19, 11, and 4. That's 11 rebounds, not 11 assists for the point guard. Second one rattles home.
Plays a lot bigger than he is. Really physical kid.
Conley, 2, attacks, draws the contact. It's going to be a blocking foul against Kincaid, and 2 will go to the line. Conley, 2. I don't have his exact numbers from this game. He averages 13 points and 3.5 boards on the season. He's an offensive threat. I feel like he's having a quiet night by his standards.
Oh, yeah, he's tough. Even when he misses the shot, you can tell he's just got a good feel for the game. You talked about Athey being a true point guard. They've got 2 of them because 2 is a true point guard as well, but he's also a scoring threat, big time.
That one's short for 2.
And with a kid like that, you can just see he's got a good feel for the game. Always knows when to hesitate and pump fake, find his teammates. It's a pleasure watching him run an offense.
Sailors next game Friday against the 8-0 Laguna Beach Breakers. Every game in this Sunset Conference is going to be tough, and that one's a Surf League matchup as well. Right now, Laguna ranked number 4 in Division II AA. So that is a team to be dealt with, and that's just another tough game on this conference slate, on this short 11-game season for the Sailors. Every game is going to be hard for them.
Well, that's why this is a good test right here. It's a team that, they do stuff a little bit different from your previous opponents, but what's been good is Coach Toribio's been able to work in some guys.
On this short 11-game season for the Sailors, every game is going to be hard for them.
Well, that's why this is a good test right here. It's a team that, they do stuff a little bit different from your previous opponents.
The common opponent between these two teams, Huntington Beach and Newport Harbor, is Fountain Valley. Sailors last week lost by 6 to the Barons. And a few weeks ago for Huntington Beach, they lost big time, 75-41 to Fountain Valley. And Newport Harbor is Fountain Valley. Sailors last week lost by 6 to the Barons. And a few weeks ago, who should give Newport trouble. So it's really just a gauntlet. There's a lot of evenly matched teams top to bottom in the Sunset Conference.
Absolutely, and both of these teams out here, the Sailors and the Oilers, are both very deep. Seems like they can each go 8, 9, 10 players deep and have competent people at every position.
Barnes to inbound it, a press. They try to feed it ahead to Darrow to break the press. Looking like Jerry Rice on the reception and the bucket, Levi Darrow. 3:20 to go in this game. Conley, 2, high arcing shot. Hits the bottom of the net.
It's frustrating because you go with the press. If you're Coach Zaragoza, you call the press, and right away your team gives up a deep layup, but then they follow it up with the made 3. It's like you do something great right after you kind of shoot yourself in the foot. It's just too little, too late.
Luke Barnes going to shoot in 1-and-1 here. They got him on the arm as he tried to break the press. 3:10 to go in the game. Barnes sinks the first. And the Sailors had a tough go of it in the first half from the free throw line. Barnes missed a pair to start the game. Darrow split a pair. And now they've been money from the charity stripe. Left-handed Barnes misses the second, so I might have jinxed him on that one. Darrow tries to pick the pocket. It bounced off his left foot. Went out of bounds, so Huntington Beach basketball, but Levi Darrow, the ball hawk, flying to the ball.
Feels like this fourth quarter has really slowed down in terms of the time coming off the clock, and that's because both teams are just pressing, playing hard.
Tough shot there by Ford. Misses. A fight for the ball. It's saved by Athey. Darrow hit the deck. Kincaid picks it off. Going to the rack, and he goes in and lays it in with the left hand. Brandon Kincaid, the spark plug. Has the Sailors up 15, 2:46 to go. A timeout on the floor. We'll keep it right here. Howard, you're right. The game, the pace has slowed down a bit in terms of time off the clock. And every time Huntington Beach gets something, the Sailors, they answer.
It's been very deliberate. Coaches calling timeout, even right there, Coach Toribio calling a timeout. He knows that even though there's only 2 minutes and 45 seconds left in the game, we still got to close it out the right way because it's been very up and down thus far tonight.
2:46 to go. Coach Toribio and Coach Zaragoza talking it over with their teams. We'll be back on TarTV this Friday, 3:30, for a wrestling dual meet just outside the confines of Ralph K. Reed Gymnasium in the quad between the two gyms, the old pool area, for an outdoor wrestling dual meet. So that'll be a good time. Tune in for that one, 3:30 on Friday. Howard, I know you're a big pro wrestling fan. It's a little different, the high school level, but.
Yeah, absolutely. Not going to see too many stone cold stunners or choke slams out there. But I know you did say there was some crazy stuff happened a couple of weeks ago, so it can get serious on the mat.
There was an ambulance here, and it wasn't a prop.
Right, which is in my kind of wrestling. Usually the ambulance is a paid actor driving that thing.
One of the Sailors wrestlers a couple weeks ago dislocated his elbow on TarTV, so he's recovering, getting better, but it's very fun to do the wrestling meets. Tune in for that, and boys basketball will be back in action Friday, as I said, against the 8-0 Laguna Beach Breakers. That's an away game, so I'll have that call for you on tarradio.com, 7 o'clock tip.
And we just talked through Coach Zaragoza's timeout. So first, Coach Toribio called a timeout. He sent his team back out on the floor. The ref's blowing the horn saying, come on, Black, come on, Oilers, we need you out on the floor. Coach says, give me a timeout. I'm not done talking to my guys. And there's, hey, I love it, though. You know, there's a lot. We've seen this the whole game, a lot of coaching going on. I just highlighted that, why Coach Toribio is calling a timeout when you feel like the game's almost over. Same thing with Coach Zaragoza. You can never miss an opportunity to get better and coach your kids.
Howard, you and I were talking before the game, during the game, minutes ago, about the offensive potency of the Huntington Beach Oilers. Conley, too, over 13 points a game. Jason Ford shooting just under 50% from the field. Joey Gentinella over 50%. So, yes, it's a 15-point lead for the Sailors, but there's a ton of time on the clock, even in a high school game. They get it to Ford down on the block, and a foul will be called. So the whistles.
Two physical guys for their respective teams. Number 24, I think Downs, James Downs for the Oilers. He's kind of a bruiser, big body, thick guy going against Gianni Passero, and we know what we're getting from Passero.
Oh, Passero is listed at a generous 6'3", and he plays like he's 6'5". Never one to back down from a challenge. That's two big men going at it. Watch them. Watch Passero follow Downs. No, it's Ford in the corner for a three. Jason Ford nails that one.
He's been quiet tonight, but it looks like he can shoot it pretty good.
2 minutes, 15 seconds left in this game. Barnes is going to bring it up. He stopped his dribble. Sailors break the press with Passero, and he'll pull it back out. Great opportunity for the Sailors to eat clock. Shea Elgin hounded by Athey. And that's Levi Darrow with it. Final 2 minutes of the game. Darrow, crossover, hangs in the air, high off the glass. And Passero tips it in with a fingertip.
And the Oilers thought that it was still in the cylinder and that was a goaltend. You don't see a lot of those in high school basketball.
Well, if this were the NBA, that would certainly go to replay review, but we're at Ralph K. Reed Gymnasium, and we're just going to have to take the officials' word for it. It favors the Sailors, and Coach Zaragoza calls a timeout, not happy with 1:49 to go in the game.
Hey, no running clocks out here. We're not just playing for pride. Coach said, give me a timeout. I need another coaching point. I love it.
Let's talk about, Howard, what would this win mean for the Sailors? Because we knew this was somewhat of a rebuilding year. 4 of the 5 seniors graduating from last season. And they open up with a win. They enter Sunset Conference play. They drop 2. But now you move to 2-2 on the year at 500 if you pull away with this thing. I mean, this would be a big win for this young team.
Absolutely. It's just a little confidence. You tuck it away. It's a Sunset Conference opponent. They're a tough, like you said, everybody in the Sunset Conference is tough. So you get a double-digit win against a tough opponent, and you just build on it.
So you're 5 on the floor for the Sailors. Darrow, Elgin, Reed, Passero, and Barnes. DiMaggio inbounds it to Phantom for Huntington Beach. They're trying to feed it on the block. They get it down there to Kenrick. Back up in the game, backs down Passero.
Where's Kenrick been all night with that beautiful move? Wow.
He puts it in. Passero went high for the block. And 90 seconds to go in this game. 30 on the shot clock. Elgin's just going to look up at the scoreboard, and the Sailors are going to take their time.
Huntington Beach still playing defense with intensity, though.
If HB gets a stop here, maybe it gets interesting. Darrow three-pointer short, tipped out by Barnes. It ends up on the hands of Pizarro. He's out of control. He's got to back it out to Phantom. If Huntington Beach wants to have any chance at a miraculous comeback in this game, the Hail Mary prayer starts right here. Final minute.
Well, it's probably a little too late for a comeback, but they can still get it within single digits. And
that bounces off of Phantom's foot. Turnover.
You gotta love the fight in both teams. And if you didn't know any better, you think it was a one-point game in a playoff situation.
And now a brother-for-brother substitution. Taryn Elgin replaces his brother Shea Elgin. Also, Oliver Pick back in the game for the Sailors. Darrow checks out. Couple of subs here. 53 seconds on the clock. They get it into Taryn Elgin. And he dishes to Barnes.
And that's how close this game has felt for Coach Toribio, that he couldn't get to his young guys all the way until 1 minute left in the fourth quarter.
Nice find. Pissarro goes up and lays it in with the left hand. Gianni Pissarro, a coming out party for him tonight. What a game. What an assignment he's had defensively, and what a showcase offensively. Oh, it's picked by Pissarro.
This is a dunk.
He goes up. And for all intents and purposes, we'll say he drives it home.
I was just about to say on his last one, he almost could have turned his hand over and dunked it. He had an opportunity there. I love that he took it.
Gianni Pissarro has got hops. Last shot of the game for Huntington Beach is up and good. Taylor Foster puts it in with the right hand. Pick inbounds it. Barnes grabs it. And the Sailors are fired up. Their first win in the Sunset Conference this season. They move back to 500, and they snap the two-game losing streak, 54-40. Your final here from Yardley Court. The Sailors come back with a vengeance. They put their foot on the gas to start the game. They never let up, and they've got perhaps a spark of momentum heading into Friday's tough matchup against the Breakers of Laguna Beach.
Definitely you got some momentum. You dropped 2 in a row. You're playing a Sunset Conference opponent, and you go out with the 14-point win. There's no way you can't feel good about that. So this is a good win for the Sailors. Got in a couple of guys at the end of the game to just feel some varsity time. They'll be able to build on this and get some more confidence as they continue on through Sunset Conference play.
Howard, we saw a 6-point loss here 1 week ago against a super athletic Fountain Valley team that went to the CIF Conference semifinals last season. We see a win here tonight against a scrappy Huntington Beach team. Temperature check for the Sailors at this point. 4 games in, almost halfway into an 11-game season. Where are you at with the Sailors?
Well, the Sailors, they've played some good basketball thus far, but they've also been a little bit disappointed at times. You know, we saw the last 2 games leads or comebacks kind of slip away from the Sailors, right? So it felt good that even tonight, as the Oilers kind of kept creeping in there, 8-point game, 9-point game, the Sailors were able to put their foot on the Oilers' throat and stretch it out to 14 points. So it's been a little inconsistent through 4 games, obviously, as the 2-2 record shows. So we need to see, going forward, the intensity and the consistency that we saw tonight out of the Sailors.
Against Fountain Valley and against Edison, the Sailors fought back from double-digit deficits to lead in the second half, and then the leads evaporated. Tonight, the Sailors led the whole way, and like you said, they didn't let up. I love the fight. We love the defensive intensity from Coach Toribio's squad, and it held the whole way through. Also, big credit to Coach Zaragoza and his team. A lot to like from them. I don't know how many games they have left on their season. They've already played now 10, so they've played double the Sailors' games, but a lot of guys to like on that team. I know we were both impressed with the big man Joey Gentilella and James Downs, Cole Kenrick, all their forwards, really.
And the point guard, too.
It's a solid team over there in Surf City.
They've got some good players, so the Sailors should feel good about this win. It was a solid team victory, and like I said, they got to just build on this and find a way to get consistent.
I'm looking at my phone here to get the final stats from Grandpa Darrow. I just want to let everyone know who the Sailors' high point man was. Gianni Pissarro, he had himself a game with 14 points in that game. So Pissarro, 14 points and 3 rebounds.
And if you remember, I think in the second quarter, I was like, oh, we haven't said Pissarro's name much.
Well, he had 2 points at halftime, so 12 second-half points for Gianni Pissarro. And I'm looking to add up Levi Darrow's numbers, and it's probably going to take me a minute. Hold on. Let me do the math here. Levi Darrow had 8 in the first half, and he ends up with 10. So 18 on the game for Levi Darrow unofficially. This is the unofficial stats from Grandpa Darrow. They're going to go back, watch the tape, and review it. But Levi Darrow ends up just shy of a season average of 20 with 18 tonight.
And he probably got robbed on a couple of no calls when he was going to the basket. Every time he Euro stepped, they either called a travel or a charge. So it just wasn't his night, and still ends up with 18 points.
Well, Howard, good to be back in Ralph K. Reed Gymnasium here with you. We did the girls' game yesterday, And we'll be back next week for the game against Los Alamitos.
Can't wait. Go Sailors.
Sailors, again, they win tonight, snap the 2-game losing streak, and move to 2-2 on the season. They'll be just down Highway 1 in Laguna Beach on Friday, 7 o'clock tip against the undefeated Laguna Beach Breakers. You can catch that game online at tarradio.com. For my broadcast partner, Howard Kroom, for the whole TarTV crew, John Hoyce, Sydney Griffin, Kira Kirby, and everybody who puts it together, Trixie, Melissa, the whole team. It's a big team, and we appreciate what they do. Coach Toribio and his staff, and, of course, Sean Bolton and Dr. Jerry Murray. This is Alex Crawford saying from Ralph K. Reed Gymnasium to Davidson Field, from the pool deck to the bell tower. You've been watching Newport Harbor Boys Hoops on TarTV. Go Sailors.